shots fired. Here we go. Let's make this happen. So absolutely a huge full weekend of Apex here that is going to culminate in an incredible Sunday. But one of the other things we got to talk about is that while it might be about points and everything, there is some money on the line here, Xenox, and there's quite a bit, especially in that first and second and third place.
Yeah, there certainly is, and it's always going to be something that we're going to look at and wonder who's going to take home the lion's share of the prize. But honestly, it's also
Luar biasa, go
teams
Indonesia,
and
you
pride
can.
as well. Can you be considered the top team globally, internationally, and
Mana orangnya
generally
tuh?
speaking, when you're placing in the money, you're doing
Ditinggal
something right.
sendiri.
That's a great way to put it. I like that. And as we talked about, of course, today's playoffs prizing is a big deal, of course. But let's talk about the bigger picture. I can't believe I'm even saying this, but the reality is that this isn't the biggest event we have coming. This is merely a stop on the road to the championship. Top 30 teams from playoff points qualify for the championship, and that's a very important element here, Bardoff. Today, and certainly throughout our splits, those points are king.
As big as this event is, as big as these playoffs are, as important as they are for Apex with the run we've had in the 900 and something days, there is a monster on the horizon called the championships. And first place at these playoffs, as you can see, will be 500 points. And in this top half, there's quite a fat chunk of points you can get. But if you go in the bin early, then you will leave in 40th place with a measly 2 points. And let me tell you, that absolutely sucks.
100%. Well, of course, we are in split number 2, so there are teams certainly here, and there are teams that haven't gotten to this playoff that we are looking at right now that have really showcased their playoff points already. And, you know, Xenox, we take a look at this first board. These are the top 30 right now. We know top 30 go to championships here, but let's talk about this second board, because these, I'm looking, listen, I love them to death, but GMT Esports, they gotta show up to this weekend.
Yeah, and there's obviously a lot of teams that are going to have to show up this weekend that are, you know, maybe from 40 to 60 right now. This is an opportunity for them to collect some points and put themselves in a position where they can finish inside of the top 40. But, you know, on the flip side, in that first graphic we had, there's some teams like, I mean, Dreamfire inside of the top 5 are not here. So they're on 150 points. Is that going to be enough? We'll have to wait and see. But, you know, there's going to be a couple of teams that are also not here watching on and wondering, are we going to have a place in the championship?
Oh, man, and that is the question du jour, and certainly one that we will have a better understanding of here at the end of our 3 days of competition for playoffs. Well, we have so many ways for you to get the most out of your ALGS viewing experience, and one of those ways is one of our favorites. If you've been here before, you know it, you love it. It's called multi-view, and it takes a little bit of a form like this. It's exactly as it sounds. There's a command center down by that Twitch follow button, and hey, if you want to press the follow button, we'd love you for it. We're here. We're cool. We enjoy you. Come and be a part. Either way, take a look at this multi-view. You can see all of your favorite players, your pros, those players that are going to showcase incredible talent. And not only that, but you can hear their in-game comms. I do not know a better way to level up your own gameplay than to learn from the pros themselves. And hey, this time they're going to be doing it on LAN, which online is already hard enough. Can you imagine doing it under the bright lights and with my very loud voice, but speed away? No, it's probably a bad idea. Either way, there's something else that we want to tell you about. The first ever Twitch ALGS extension and stats sub-stream. There are 2 new features we're debuting here today. That Twitch extension is going to be on your main stream. It's going to pop out with a window showing current standings. This is up to the 2nd current standings. You're literally going to be at the same level of knowledge as we are. I'm very excited. So is he.
Yukkk
He
Jawa.
knows things. Exactly. We're also going to debut a stats page, which you can open up in the multi-view so you can keep up on all the latest stats up to the 2nd. Incredible stuff. And hey, something else to keep an eye out for. Not just these players who are definitely in the game mode here, game faces, keeping themselves calm, collected. But let's keep an eye out for the fight indicator. You're going to see that on your screen. Players' cards flash yellow when they are engaged with each other. And I gotta say, they're Xenox, I'm looking at these players and they seem pretty cool, calm, and collected for being on LAN under the bright lights.
You need to be though, right? You can't be coming into an event like this looking nervous or scared. You've got to feel confident in your team. You've got to feel like you're capable of being able to win or at least do very, very well. So if you're coming into this a little bit shaky and a little bit nervous, not a good start. And it's going to be a long day as well. So you've got to settle yourselves in nice and early, be happy, and be a team.
Look at that. We're seeing teams right there doing their business in the moments before. But hey, something else to remember. We have a huge day on Sunday. And not just because we're crowning the Split 2 playoff champions, not just because we're giving away the lion's share of $1 million, but because we've got a trailer a teaser, a thing that maybe you'll want to see. Perhaps
What
we
are you
have
talking
some
about,
news.
Kate?
Perhaps we
What's
have an
going on,
announcement.
Kate?
Brand, whatever your name is, I can't talk about it, and that is making me verklempt right now.
Give me the
gang,
info,
and
Kate. I've got a pen.
I can't deal with it,
Talk to me,
Bardock. We'll
Kate.
talk about it later. Either way, you're definitely going to want to stick around for that. Believe me, Sunday is going to be a big, big day. Now, as we have mentioned, every team has proven themselves. They've gotten themselves here because of incredible gameplay throughout our split. But really the question you have to ask yourself is, which teams, which players are going to make it into your multi-view? Our analysts have something to say about that. Oh man, this is, I know, you know, the reality here, Xenox, is that this is probably the hardest decision you're going to have to make all day.
Is it? I thought it was honestly pretty easy. I've gone with Team Empire as my first team. The top team from EMEA coming in here for the playoffs. And look, they're a team that are fortunate that they've, you know, not had any substitution issues. They're very consistent at the back end of Season 2 as well, winning very consistently. And they have that aggressive playstyle that I think can do well for them on LAN in this environment. They're going to be a tough team to beat for a lot of other teams from other regions that maybe like that more slower approach. These guys are going to get in your face and they'll beat you down.
That's beat you down. There it is.
Moving over to our second team, it's of course going to be TSM. They have to be a team to watch. They're a team that everybody watches. We know the numbers, Hal does when he's streaming. We know what they do when they make it to the finals as well. They often deliver, they almost always deliver. And here is their next test. But of course, it is a very different scenario now. It's not just the NA region, it's the whole world against them. And it's time for them to perform.
There's one last one though, and it's a special one. It's green. It's the green wall. Hello, welcome Optic to Apex Legends. Of course, picking up Esports Arena, and that's going to be in itself so fascinating to watch under the new banner, under the bright lights of LAN. So much pressure essentially now on this roster. New org at LAN. Can they handle that? We know they're dominant in North America. Can they be dominant globally?
I'll tell you what, right now, you just mentioned 3 teams. We started with Team Empire, themselves an incredible squad. We go to TSM, an Empire they have been. Will they continue to be? Will this be a thing that they can dare to be great to? We'll find out here today, of course. And finally, we've got